Alright guys, so in this video I'm going to be showing you all how I do decals. Most of the time I'll bring in a decal into Quixel Mixer. I know you can bring decals into Unreal Engine, but I'm going to show you guys how you can do just download a custom, an image online and set up all the maps for it in GIMP. And then what we'll do is we will actually take those maps and import them into Quixel Mixer. So I actually usually create my decals in Blender, believe it or not. So like any type of like caution sign or any type of like decal that I need a little bit of sci-fi to it instead of just your basic decals that you see, in the real world. I'll do it in Blender. I know most people probably use Photoshop, but I use Blender because Blender, you can add a camera, you can add lights, you can add all this stuff, and it just makes the decal pop a little more. And then you can model anything you want and just render an image of it, and you can just make that and have an alpha background, and then just do what the fuck you want with it. Should I use Photoshop? I probably should, but guess what? I ain't got the time to learn another fucking software, so I'm using Quixel Mixer to apply my decals, and I'm using Blender to create the decal, and I'm using GIMP to create the maps that Quixel Mixer wants. Otherwise, Quixel Mixer is going to lose its fucking mind and be like, oh, nope, I'm not making a decal. I need every single map that you can even imagine, and you won't even use half of them. So, whatever. So, I'm going to show you guys what happens if I try to import a custom asset. So, basically, what's going to happen is, what I want to do is I want to add a decal to this electrical panel, if that wasn't already obvious. I made this in Blender. I applied the textures in Quixel, and it's just missing something. It just needs like a little decal that says, like high voltage or some shit, and which is what I have here. It's like a danger high voltage sign. The first thing that's wrong with this is that the image size is not a perfect square, so Quixel Mixer is already going to throw a fit. So if I go to, okay, so it's set the decal already, but if you go to this top left up here, you'll hit library. My water bottle just popped. That scared the shit out of me. We're going to go to library, import custom asset, set the decal, and let's select the albedo. And I'm going to try to click on this. And you can see it's 1499 by 1086 pixels. Okay, so it's a little too squished, I guess you can say. So we're going to go into GIMP, and I downloaded this online. There's a little like smartsign.com here, whatever. And with a little phone number, I should probably crop it out, but this image actually came with a transparent background. But if you download an image and it doesn't have a transparent background and you want to create one, you just go down right here to the bottom right, you right click, and then you'll see add alpha channel right here. It's grayed out for me because this one already has it. And then if you had like a background you want to remove, there's this wand up here. You just select that, and then you can select like anything you want in the image, and then you can just hit like delete, and you can see I can actually create an alpha background like that. But I'm not going to do that. I actually like the white background, so I'm just going to leave it alone. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to image, and we're going to scale it. I'm going to see how this looks scaled. If it looks like shit, I might have to go with a different image. But I'm going to do like 2048. Let me break this link here because it's going to try to apply a ratio. I don't really care about that. By 2048. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, that actually looks okay. I can live with that. It's a little stretched, but I can live with that. It's a perfect square. It's what Quixel Mixer wants. And what I could also do is I could probably like take this image and give it a bigger transparent background, and then this can actually stay squished, and then I can actually have more transparent background than the image. I probably could do that. Let's see if I can. Do I even know how to do that? I probably don't, to be honest with you. Yeah, because it's not gonna. See what I'm saying? Look, I'm already fucking up. Look, you know what I mean? Okay, and look, now the crop is gone that I just did before. So we're gonna take this damn crop. Take the crop tool here. We're just gonna go all the way in the corner. I'm just gonna try to line. I'm just eyeballing this, to be honest with you. I'm trying to make this quick. I can't go into too much detail, just to give you guys an idea of how to do it. And we're just gonna hit enter, and there you go. All right, so we're gonna go back here. We're gonna go back into scaling the image, and 2048 by 2048 looked fine. I'm not too worried about it. By 2048, so basically a 2K image, and there you go. Now we can actually take this, export as, and we're gonna need PNGs. We need that alpha background. So we're gonna go to desktop, and we're gonna hit export, and we're just going to replace it, the old one, because the old one was squished. So yeah, I'm just gonna replace it. Not a big deal. And then what you want to do is you want to check this box that says save color values from transparent pixels. Okay, and make sure that's checked. And you want to hit export. Is my mic still on? Dude, I'm so paranoid about my mic dying. I'm not even joking. Okay. So now we have that. So now here's what's going to happen. Okay, I'm going to go in here, and you think that's all you need to do, but it's really not. So you go to import custom asset, right? You go to albedo, and then you select danger, high voltage, and you see it works. But if you try to go to next, you need all of these maps, or else Quixel Mixer is going to lose its mind. Like it really doesn't need it. Opacity, I understand, but the rest, come on, bro. You do not need those. So we could get these. We could get these pretty easily. And I'm going to show you how in GIMP. So right now, that's what it looks like. So we're going to cancel this right now. We're going to go back into GIMP. Okay, so we have the albedo. Here's what the albedo right here. So it wants a roughness map. So if you want to do a roughness map, what you can actually do is you go to colors, or actually image, go to mode, and then grayscale it. Okay, and then there's your roughness map. You know, this is going to, the darker images are going to be a little shinier. The white is going to be not shiny at all. So like the high voltage is going to be shiny. This little lightning bolt's going to be a little shiny. And then this black triangle is going to be really shiny. And we can actually go to File, Export. And then we can actually rename this to Rough. High voltage roughness. We can export that to the desktop. And then, yeah, save all those settings. And then there you go. Now I'm going to undo that by hitting Control Z. Because if I go to colors and I try to, or image, and I try to bring it back to RGB, it just won't work for some reason. I'm not sure if it's a bug or if it's something I'm doing. But either way, so now it wants a normal map, okay? It wants a normal map. So what you can actually do is you can go into colors, or sorry, filters, go down into generic, and then you'll see normal map here, and it'll actually create a normal map for you. And if you don't want any of those bumpiness, if you just want it like a flat image, you can actually bring this down to 0, and it'll just be a simple square. But it'll be enough for Quixel Mixer to shut the hell up. But in my case, I think a normal map would actually be pretty cool. So I'm gonna give it a strength of 10, 15, because why not? I think it'd be pretty cool. And then we can hit OK, and there you go. Here's your normal map. So now we can go to File, Export as, High Voltage, and we can rename this into normal, okay, .png, and we can just export that to the desktop. So you can see what we're doing here. We're basically creating a whole set of textures that Quixel can use. And keep in mind, guys, I got this thing online. You can find any image online of just some random warning and just do all these things in GIMP. So here's our normal map, right? And I think it was one more. It wanted opacity, right? So we're going to go back into, we're going to hit Control Z to go back into color. And opacity, all it needs is just a white with a little bit of black in these corners. So what we can actually do is we can go into colors, right? And then what we can do from here is go to brightness and contrast. Okay, that's not the right one. Is it filters? Is it filters? I always forget what this what it is. Is it distance map? Okay, it's a distance map, and you see how it's like kind of white but not really. I think there's a way to make it just completely white. And let's see, I forget how I did it before. Okay, so just deselect normalize. Well, this isn't black, that should be black. So I'm going to hit cancel on that. I'm going to retry that. So we're going to go to, let's try a different one. Let's try, actually, where was the lighting? Exposure. Okay, there it is. So exposure will probably actually work better because you can actually keep these little transparent corners right here. If you don't care that much, you don't really need to, but in my case I'm going to do it. So white reveals, and then these transparent will conceal the will conceal those corners, so you can actually, it'll have that rounded edge. So we can hit OK. See what these do. We hit OK, and then there's our opacity mask. So we can hit File, Export as, and then Normal. We're going to change this to opacity. Okay. And we're going to export that. And yeah, okay, export that. And then that's it. So we can minimize this. We're pretty much done in there. We got all our maps. So now what we can do is go into Quixel Mixer, top left, hit import custom asset. We're going to set this to decal. Albedo is going to be here. And then if Quixel Mixer is cool enough, it'll actually bring all this other stuff in for you. Now if we hit next, I think it's going to ask for a displacement mask, which is so fucking annoying. It doesn't need it. But what we can actually do is you can reuse the roughness. Okay, and it's going to look like dog shit right now. But if you click over to next, you can actually bring down the displacement to 0. And you see how it goes black because Quixel Mixer was abandoned as a child. So it's going to be a little temperamental. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back. And then we're going to go back into Albedo. We're going to just reload these maps. And usually I have to go through all of them again. Eventually it will bring back the color. You know what I mean? One of these actually brings back the color. I swear one of them brings back the color. Okay, let me go here. Okay, then we go here. And there you go. Okay, just don't mess with displacement because it's gonna like the height, because it's gonna absolutely lose its shit. So we're gonna go to decal, and my decal, we're gonna call this high voltage, okay? And the category is gonna be decal. We can enter some tags here. So decal, I guess metal, because technically that would be on a metal, you know, like electrical panel or anything that's high voltage. And what else? I guess that's it. I mean, that's pretty much it. And now we can hit import. Okay. And it's gonna, okay, do something like that. And then now what we can do is we can go into add decal. Decal, wow, decal. And you can actually see all these other decals I made, which is like a keypad, some company logo, a latch, and I think I made this in Blender. I can't remember. I don't really remember this one. I think I made this in Blender. And then I made this in Blender, this in Blender, this in Blender. I guess I made this in Blender. I'm not sure where this came from. I think this is a decal from somewhere else. And I made this in Blender, the caution stand clear. And we're going to be using this one, okay? And obviously it's going to be way off, so we're going to go into here. And then what we're going to do is instead of... wow, I just sounded like a Teletubby there. I was like, wow, wow, wow. What the fuck is wrong with me, man? Anyway... you can see it's already in freeform, so we can actually work with that. So we can rotate it 180 because it's upside down, and then the scale is like way off, so we can cut this in half, maybe. Probably even less, so 0.3. And then the offset is weird, so we can bring it over here, and then we can bring it down, and it looks like this didn't work. I think these corners were supposed to be black. Well, either way, you can either there's a way to get rid of these corners. You just got to get that background to be black, and I thought I almost had it, but apparently not. But there it is. Okay, it's still a little big, so what we can do is we can actually scale it a little bit less, like 0.2, probably even less, 0.14, 0.16, 0.17. Okay, that looks pretty cool. It's just not very centered, so we can just eyeball it. I just eyeball it, to be honest with you. So looks like it needs to be 0.135. 0.14, 0.15, 0.145. Okay, I think 0.145 is the answer here. 0.145 looks to be the answer. And then there you go. There's our decal. Okay, it's a 2K texture. This is a 2K like all around for the electrical panel, a 2K texture, so it's not going to look too good, but like close up. But back here it looks pretty good. Okay. And I'm making a third-person game anyway, so, you know, nobody's going to be that close. The camera's not going to get that close unless you look to the left or the right, and then the camera just bashes against the electrical panel. But either way, that's pretty much it, guys. That's all I really wanted to show you. Here's our electrical panel. And then once you go ahead and export, you're going to get all these weird-ass maps. It just makes no damn sense. And if you actually wanted to take this a step further, making this metallic could actually look really cool as well. It gives it a really nice, like kind of finish, like a little metallic sign there. Oh, and another trick I want to show you guys. I'm not going to use metallic. Oh, shit. I'm choking on air, dude. Hold on. Dude, what the hell was that, man? Oh, I ain't got time for that shit. So anyway, what you want to do if you want to make this look damaged and beat up, you can actually right click on this decal and you can go to add mask stack, and then you can select this little square right here, and then if you go to add mask components, you can do noise, and then I like Warley noise. It sounds kind of weird, but it looks really cool. So watch, I'll show you what happens here. So you can actually add some amplitude. So you see what's happening. It's like a just a randomization damage to the sign, and we can actually change the frequency. So you can change how often it happens. I like it to be a little more frequent because of the detail. The detail looks really cool. And watch what happens when I raise the persistence. The persistence makes it look really cool, as well as the octaves. Octaves make it look really cool. It looks just absolutely destroyed, and you can see some of the background of the panel actually shining through, which looks really good. And I'm gonna actually make this a little bit more frequent, and I'm gonna change the seed probably to something. What about the amplitude? I think amplitude might need to be, yeah, amplitude needs to be higher. Lunarity or lucinarity? Oh, I really don't know what that means or does. Looks like it adds just a little more detail. You know what? I wouldn't go too crazy with the octaves. Anything higher, and it starts to get like really pixelated. Depends on the texture, but in my case, I'm gonna go bring it down to like a probably like a 4, because any higher it just starts to get a little pixelated. And the frequency seems to be a little crazy. And persistence, I'm gonna raise that up. And I actually might raise the octaves just to make it a little more damaged looking to 5. Okay. And that's actually looking pretty cool. You can see it's just looking, and you can play around with these values as much as you want. And that's how you can kind of make it look damaged. If you wanted to, you can go add a paint layer, and then you can go into like, I don't know, I have all these brushes that I saved. You can, raise the size of this, and you can give it like a, whoa, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, yeah, you can actually paint normal maps. So if you see this displacement right here, if you actually texture that, it's not going to look like this in, you see how it's kind of getting like bent right here? It's not going to look like that in Unreal Engine, but you can actually keep this on here in Quixel, and then when you export these maps, it'll actually save that as a normal map, so it looks like it just got damaged, you know what I mean? But that's not what I'm going for. But you can actually add like some moisture stains, That looks kind of suspicious, but you know what I mean? You get the idea. So you see how we have that there? So now what we can do is we can go to export, and then you see all these useless maps that you have here? Go to advanced texture setup, and then remove gloss, roughness, keep the normal, keep the albedo, remove displacement, ambient occlusion, metalness, opacity, and emission if you don't have emission. I don't have it, I'm not using it. So we're gonna hit the plus map, plus add map, and then we're gonna hit metal. We're gonna type metal, rough, and then AO. Do not put underscores in between each, because then it'll actually separate the maps, which is not what we want. We want to combine the maps. So the R value is going to be metallic. The G value is going to be metal. Whoa. Okay, did I say that right? I'm sorry. The R value is going to be metal. The G value is going to be roughness. The B value is going to be ambient occlusion. Okay? So we're going to close that out. And we're gonna. I like to open up the folder after export, because I want to see what the maps look like before I just commit to it. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna export to disk, and you can see on this little image texture. There it is. There's our little decal right there, looking destroyed, which is cool. And that's pretty much it. And you can actually take those maps, bring them into Unreal Engine, apply them to plug them into the corresponding nodes in the blueprint, or I'm sorry, in the side of the material editor, and yeah, pretty much it'll look exactly like this. Probably even better, because Unreal Engine just makes these textures look a little bit better. I just like the reflections, and Quixel Mixer is really no reflections. It's just really hard to see what's going on in Quixel sometimes. It just depends on what I'm doing or what I'm working on. But either way, guys, that's really it. You can actually take this many directions that you want. That's it, guys. Thank you all for watching. All that good stuff. Catch you later.